Hello, everybody, and thank you for stopping by Moonlit Taroscope. This is going to be my new series called Tarot Secrets Revealed, where I reveal information to you about how I read cards. I've noticed that a lot of my clients do want to learn how to read cards themselves, so I thought, why don't I just share some of my secrets with you guys and start this new series? I think it'll be fun. So, um, I get my information from a family that has shared these secrets over multiple generations for a very long time, number one. Number two, I get my information from the experience that I've had using divination tools and reading cards, reading the future, what have you. I have experience in playing cards, tea leaves, and tarot. Excuse me. I'm like constantly dehydrated. All right. So in this video, we're going to talk about how to get yourself ready and how all the steps you need to take up to the reading. Okay. There's a lot that you need to do in advance before you start the reading. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that you need to do is get everything ready. You want to get all of your supplies in one place and within um, um, reaching. You want to be able to grab. You want to not have to stand up. You want to have everything within reach when you begin your reading. Okay. There's two things that you absolutely have to do. You absolutely have to have if you're going to read cards. Okay. The first thing that you're going to need, and by the way, you can get them for $2. The first thing that you're going to need is a white candle. You can get a white candle from anywhere you want for $1. Okay, you can get it from the grocery store, you can get it from Walmart, your corner store. You can find these things for $1. Okay, a white candle. Number two, a deck of cards. You can use playing cards. Okay, I'll get into more about playing cards later, but I started working on playing cards. So what I want to let you know is you don't have to have a lot of fancy cards. You don't have to have a lot of fancy anything to get started. Okay, you can afford to do this. All right. So what I usually like to have is a deck of playing cards, a deck of Rider-Waite, okay, and then an Oracle deck. At least you're going to want these three items within reach, okay? But for starters, a cards and the candle. Now here's some extra things you might want to have within reach, okay? You might want to have, these are extra tools, okay, that you can use. You can have music playing, and I would typically, not music, you can find on YouTube, you can find tones, musical tones, or meditative music that is specifically meant to open your third eye or your crown chakras, okay? I am very heavily influenced by sound, so I always like to have music playing of this type, even if it's just for the before we get started, okay? The other thing you might want to have is sage, okay? Sage or incense. If you can't get sage, you can always use incense. You might want to start burning that as well. Extra tools can also be crystals. So these would need to be cleansed and charged. Be sure you know how to cleanse and charge your crystals. This is my lapis lazuli crystal. Okay. Let's see if I can get it. Anyway, I can't get it very clear. I wanted y'all to see the little gold specks in it because they're so pretty. If your crystal is cleansed and charged, you might want to hold that in your hand when you say your prayer, or you just might want to have it sitting on top of your cards, or you just might want to have it near you. Okay, so these are extra things that you might want. So that would be music, smell. So we're talking about things that have to do with the senses. Okay, incense has to do with smelling. Music has to do with your ears, right? And your crystals are going to help you with your energy, and they're going to help you with your reading. I also like to, for some reason, I like to hold them like prayer beads when you're saying a prayer. All right. So those are all the things that you need to have ready, and you want to have them all next to you. Okay. So your next step, yes, I'm looking at my notes because I am flaky, and I will just go off on all different directions if I don't have notes. So number one, you've gotten everything ready. Number two, you're just going to light your candle. Now, I don't happen to have on me today wooden matches, but if you have wooden matches, you want to light your candle with wooden matches because you always want to try to use all organic things when you're reading the future, okay? That's step two. Very simple. Light your candle. Number three, this is the most important part of reading cards, okay? It is setting your intention. Let me repeat this. The most important part of reading tarot cards is setting your intention, okay? Setting your intention. I can do a whole video on setting your intention. I'm sure that you guys have heard setting your intention. It literally is setting your intention is one of the base principles of practicing white magic. I'll go into that another time. But I do not want you to do anything, any readings, without setting your intention. Here's a quick and easy way to do it. You say a prayer. I wrote one down for you, so I can just read it out to you. But usually I just say them off the cusp of my head, okay? This is what I say. Dear spirit guides, angels, ancestors, ascended masters, archangels, any and all entities that wish to share information of love, light, and positivity to enhance their being your clairant, or like I do on YouTube, I'm reading for horoscope signs, to enhance Scorpio's spiritual evolution, spiritual journey. That's it. You say your prayer, but you mean what you say, okay? So if you're not really sure what setting your intention means, write yourself out a prayer that includes all of the spiritual entities that you actually believe exist and that you actually believe that communicate with you, okay? And you want to make sure that you are allowing only messages to come through that are going to share love, light, and positivity, or that will enhance someone's life, okay? That's very important. I'll go into that another way. This is the most important step to prepare yourself to read cards, okay? After you've set your intention and you've said your prayers and or said your prayers, it's basically the same thing, okay? The next thing you're going to do is you're going to put yourself in sort of like a trance-like or meditative state. So for many of you, this is going to be a difficult part, or you think this is the hard part. It's really not that hard. There's a zillion videos on YouTube about how to meditate or how to, put yourself in a trance-like state. For me, I can do it extremely quickly, and I'm not really sure why. It may have been all the acid I did in the 90s. I don't know. It's possible. Mushrooms, mescaline. I mean, it was just ridiculous. But I can literally do it like within 30 seconds, okay? And I can feel it. So what happens is, you know that you're in that trance-like state because I don't really know how to describe the sensation. It usually starts in the small of my back and it comes up the back and it comes through the top here, okay? It's a feeling of energy, and it's transferring energy into my crown chakra, my third eye, okay? And I actually visualize that. So if that helps you, then do that. Visualize it coming up through the back and into the top and like enter your body and then literally into your crown chakra. Once you do, you might want to, I always sort of like fall forward, and then I have this feeling of almost euphoric weightlessness. It can last for just half a second. But when I feel it, I know I'm there and I try to stay there. Okay. So that is the next step. So you want to get yourself in that state. So don't make this too complicated for yourself. Okay. This could be very simple. You can get in a trance-like state by staring at a candle flame until your eyes cross. Okay. If that's all it is, this is the very simple, easy way of doing so. And once you feel that feeling, you stay there. You try to stay there. You keep that going. My energy has just shifted. My energy has just slowed. My energy has just calmed down and freed up space for more information or messages to come in. Okay? That is the step of getting yourself in a trance-light or meditative state. I literally I kind of do this without thinking about it, but as I'm doing it for this video, I literally heard the tone of my voice get deeper. Whatever. Interesting. The next thing you're going to do when you're in this trance-like state is to figure out the question that you need to ask, or the spread that you're going to do, or the reading that you're going to do. So you really need to know what it is you're going to do a reading for. You know, if someone says, I just want a general reading, then you're going to say, those are the most, I want to say, what most people will start with. And a lot of times they're just testing your abilities or whatever. Just say, okay, what, if it's a general reading, then you're really going to just say what information wants to come through. And that's what your question is. What information wants to come through? You're going to usually I usually do a 3-card spread, and I just start there. And from there, you're going to usually narrow down and find your questions from there. If someone has a specific question, it's a much, much easier. So if someone says, is so-and-so going to ask me to marry them? Then that's your question. You know your question. You know your spread. There's a lot of different spreads, but that's a yes-no spread. To me, that's a yes-no spread. So you go, okay, I'm going to do a yes-no spread. I have my question, and I know what my spread is going to be. Now, after you have figured out what you're going to do, you're going to start your pre-shuffle. Now, you guys, I say this a lot of times, and probably everybody's like, what is she talking about pre-shuffle? Let me show you what a pre-shuffle is. To me, a pre-shuffle is I don't look at the cards. I shuffle the cards. I'm using my hands really as, like I said in one of my earlier videos, divining rods. And then if a card pops out, I take notice of it really quick, and then I put it back in. I don't spend much time on what card pops out. If a card doesn't pop out, here's another card. I got the World, and I got the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Interesting. Really great cards for learning divination. Or I'll just shuffle the cards. And you want to shuffle them until it feels right. And if you don't know what that means, shuffle them 3 times, okay? If you're just going to do my way. Listen, everything can be, everybody has their own way. This is what I do. I'll just shuffle them till I feel like I'm done shuffling them, or I will shuffle them 3 times. Sometimes I'll just go 1. And you want to actually, if you read reversals, you want to do this when you shuffle. You want to twist them, 2. And when I do this, I look at the card quickly. I don't spend any energy on it. I just go 10 of Swords. Okay, got that. Let it just sit in the back of your mind. Just let it be there somewhere in your mind. Okay, what else do I have? I got the 6 of Swords. I got the Knight of Cups in reverse. There you go. Pre-shuffle, I've got a few cards in my head already. So the reason I do this is because it kind of gives me an idea of the energy that's involved. And another reason I do this is because once the reading begins, I can tell you it's going to be, well, for me, 95% of the time, one of those cards is going to come out during the reading. And what that means is it's a validation. It's a validating card. It means that you're on the right track. So once I begin my reading, if I pull out any one of those 5 cards that I just saw, then it's going to validate your reading. It's going to validate it to you, the reader. Maybe not to them, but to you, because you're pre-shuffling. Your clairant, or the person you're reading for, does not know what that means, okay? That's for you. That's for me. That lets me know I'm on the right track, okay? I'm on the right track. So after you have done your pre-shuffle, you're ready to start your reading. So those are the steps to preparing yourself for a tarot card reading. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you like it, please let me know down in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe to get more information on tarot secrets. Okay? Lots of love, lots of light.